All right, so we're back again. I didn't know if I wanted to do one of these today, but watching the Cubs game today, what a piece of shit team that is. Seriously, I mean, we up 5-0. Wrigley's rocking. In comes the bullpen. Every one of them just worse than the next. Sorry, Brandon Hughes did his job, but after everyone else is worse than the next. Every freaking game, this team. There's no reason after 2016 that this team should ever have gotten this bad this quick. That is inexcusable. As a fan, I'm trying to be level-headed. I don't want to be a meatball fan and fly off the handle on this team and say fire this guy, fire that guy. And I get it. Our farm system's got some guys. We'll see how that goes, but there's no reason I should be watching the farm system. I should be looking at the farm system going, hey, our team should, have a good team and a good farm system. There's no reason for our team to be that this freaking bad. This is an absolute embarrassment. The Ricketts should be embarrassed. Cubs fans should be embarrassed. It's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And as a fan, I don't know if I'm going to go to Wrigley this year. Why would I drive down to Wrigley from Green Bay and spend my hard-earned money to watch a bunch of guys who aren't going to be on the team next year? Okay, sorry about that. My dog interrupted me. Apparently he taps on my sister-in-law's door in the middle of the night and gets her to come play with him. My dog's highly intelligent. A lot smarter than the Cubs front office and Cubs management and the whole system. I know I'm ranting, I know I'm raving. We gotta get to some cards here. This is what's more about these Topps baseball cards, 1988. There are a lot of dud cards in here, but there are a few good cards in here. A few hidden gems, shall we say. We'll see if we get any of them. If we come across any, I'll point them out. Like I said, nothing huge, nothing, maybe 60, 50, 60 bucks, maybe if you're lucky, but there's some more broken gum on the, my Joaquin Andujar card is not gonna be a gem mint 10 anymore with that gum stuck to the back of it. Let's see here, let's flip these cards open. When I was a kid, we flew through these cards. I go through this whole pack. Boom, 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 boom. If you see it's good, don't got him. Boom, boom, throw him down. I'd go through the whole pack. Just like that. Now we take our time a little bit because I got to show them off, show who's what, who's who. It's kind of a little funner. Take your time a little more now. Anyways, a little more fun. Funner isn't a word, is it? More fun. Anyways, right off the bat, we got Andy Hawkins. As I've said in a past video, he had a no-hitter that he threw for the Yankees. He threw an 8-inning no-hitter. He lost it. Christ, I think he might have given up 3 runs, if I remember. I think a bunch of errors. It wasn't 1-0. Anyways, he lost. And he was the road pitcher, so he didn't pitch in the bottom of the 9th. So years later, his no-hitter became not a no-hitter. So if you looked it up, Andy Hawkins does not have a no-hitter anymore. But at one time, he had a no-hitter. And he was a pretty good pitcher at one point, too. Andy Hawkins was definitely a couple good seasons. Next up, we got, Andres Thomas. Played for the Braves. He's a shortstop. You've said it 1,000 times. Your stereotypical 80s, 70s, 80s shortstop. There was 1,000 of them. Different name, same guy. Here we go. Von Hayes. He played for the Phillies. Von Hayes was actually pretty good for a while. He had I don't know if he was an all-star ever, but he definitely had some good years. I know he beat the Cubs a few times. Of course, who the hell didn't beat the Cubs? So I have a couple of good seasons. That team's pretty much sucked my whole life. Oh, here's a good one. Terry Francona of Tito. Remember Tito when he was with the Expos for a few years? He played a season with the Cubs. With the Reds. I think it's might have ended his career with the Reds. You might remember Terry Francona a little bit also for managed a certain team from Boston to their first World Series in, was it 88 years? And been quite a good manager. Also was the losing manager to the Chicago Cubs team in 2016. He blew a 3-1 lead, as a matter of fact. So as good as he did for other teams, he did blow a 3-1 lead. That's so Cleveland. That's Cleveland rocks. And thank you, because the Cubs got our World Series. Fuck yeah. Next up, we got Benito Santiago. This might be his rookie card. I don't know if he had an 87 card or not. But he's good. Really good early career. Never really fizzled out. Just kind of, he was a good catcher throughout his career. Solid catcher. Next, we've got All-Star National League Juan Samuel. I think it was the only time he was a excuse me, the only time he was a All-Star was this year, 87. But I could be wrong. Maybe it was. But yeah, Juan Samuel. I forgot he even was an All-Star. But there's his All-Star card. Next up, we got Doug DeSantis. He was a Oriole for a long time. I believe he was. Was he on that? He was not on the 82 Oriole team, but he also played for the Angels for a while. Doug DeSantis is a very underrated player. Something you might want to notice there too. And right there it says now with Cardinals. That was a thing they did, guy for the post production or whatever. The guy would get traded, and say now he's with the Cardinals. They didn't want to put him in the traded set. They just stamped on now with Cardinals on there. It's kind of weird. There's a few guys that have had that stamp on their card over the years back in the day. Anyway, Doug DeSantis is very underrated shortstop. My buddy Mike in the OC would definitely appreciate my shout out to Doug DeSantis. Like I said, Mike in the OC, Mad Dog Sports listener caller. If you listen to Mad Dog Sports, you know Mike in the OC. Anyways, shout out to Mike in the OC. Here we go. Steve Farr. He was a pitcher for the Royals. I don't remember a whole lot about him. This one was good for him. Had a few years. Standard pitcher. Next up, Sweet Lou Piniella. Manager of the Yankees, manager of the Cubs, manager of the Reds, won a World Series with the Reds, manager of the Rays, managed a lot of teams. He also played forever for the Yankees. He was actually a really good player, really good manager, great career, great manager. Led the Cubs to 2 playoff appearances. We kind of fizzled in the playoffs. Not going to blame Lou one bit, though. He was a great manager, got it done. Next up, we got John Cangelosi. He was one of those career kind of pinch hitter backup guys. I don't know if he ever really, a couple started. It started a little bit early on in his career, but he bounced around a lot, played for a few teams, and probably got a few big hits because I do remember him. Ooh, next up, here's an old Red Sox great, Jim Rice. Jim Rice was a slugger for the Red Sox for many years. I forgot that they put him in the Hall of Fame. I got to look that up, Hall of Fame. By the way, my last video, I got a correction to make. I had a Davey Lopes card, and I put Steve Sachs. It was actually Bill Russell, Steve Garvey, Davey Lopes, and Ron Say. They were together for like 9-10 years. Got to get that correction out there so you guys know I'm not a complete moron. I do know a little bit what I'm talking about. But anyways, Jim Rice was a great hitter. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame now. Great player. Should be in. Except Brewer manager Tom Trebelhorn. He's a manager of the Brewers for a couple good seasons, and they started to fizzle. More talent, I think, than him. But Tom Trebelhorn was a good manager. If you ever get a chance, look up on YouTube. There's a good baseball fight between the Mariners and the Brewers, and Tom Trebelhorn gets in the mix. This thing's like a 9-minute brawl. This thing goes on and on and on and on. And at one point, Tom Trebelhorn is in the mix, and he gets blindside tackle by someone. It is great. Trebs comes up. He's ready to throw down with the teams. It is great. Good fight. Good baseball fight. Look it up. Mariners, Brewers. Randy Johnson's in there throwing some haymakers. It's a good time. But next up, we got Jim Wynn, White Sox. He pitched for the Pirates before that. Don't have a whole lot of recollection of him other than that. Next up, we got Ron Darling. Might remember him see him on MLB Network. Ron Darling was definitely a really good pitcher for the Mets for a while. Big part of their 86 World Series team. I stated before, I don't believe he was doing coke. There was a few guys on that team that weren't doing cocaine, and I do believe Ron Darling was one of them. And then last but not least, we've got Joaquin Andujar, who was a very, very tough pitcher in his prime. Joaquin Andujar, he pitched for the Cardinals. I remember him then. Pitched for the A's. Prior to that, I played for the Astros a little before my time, but he was a very tough pitcher. I hated when the Cubs had to face him. Excuse me. He did win a World Series, but sorry, another technical difficulty there. But yeah, Joaquin Andujar, I hated facing him as a kid. Hated facing him when the Cubs faced him. Very good pitcher in his prime. So that's the last card, though. Last but not least was Joaquin Andujar, and about it for today. Like I said, this Cubs really got me down on baseball right now. But I'll wake up tomorrow. It's a new day. It's a beautiful thing about baseball. It's always tomorrow. We lost today, but we can always win again tomorrow. Get back at them. Get another pack open tomorrow. And other than that, I hope everyone has a great night, great evening, and we'll see you soon.